The Penang South Reclamation has a very huge environmental impact, both on Penang's fishery and also on Perak. And it will affect 4,909 nelayan in Penang, and also another 6,000 in northern Perak, as well as the marine aquaculture operations. So the questions that we want to ask: has the Penang government and the Department of Environment failed to observe the precautionary principle in climate mitigation and environmental protection? So this is something that we have been using in environment since the Rio conference. The other principle that we are referring to is the principle of free, prior and informed consent, by which they should allow the community to determine their own future. So the area that we're talking about is not a mare nullis, like a terra nullis, but it's actually a fisheries common, which has been used by the nelayan of Kawasan Selatan for generations after generations. And they have resorted to it for their livelihood over hundreds of years. And now the state government just wants to reclaim it as if it belongs to no one, it's not used by anyone. And this also is really against the recommendations of the Food Administration Organization's voluntary guidelines for small-scale fisheries, which actually recommends to protect small-scale fisheries as a strategy for the future, for food security. 2 petitions to stop the Penang South Reclamation have been signed by more than 250,000 supporters, and the number clearly demonstrates the groundswell of local, national and international support for these fisherfolk and for the protection of our marine ecosystems. We have appealed to the Prime Minister of Malaysia and the Chief Minister of Penang. We have written memorandum to them and also to the Governor of Penang to observe the precautionary principle for environmental protection and to stop or cancel, to actually cancel the proposed Penang South Reclamation Project. We call upon Suhakam to advise the Penang State Government, developers, government officers, fisheries authorities to respect the fishing community's rights to free, prior and informed consent, and to conduct any consultations fairly and transparently with all legitimate representatives on board and observing mutually agreed due process. Any attempts to undermine the Persatuan Nelayan Pulau Pinang's collective position by any party through, for example, one-to-one negotiation and offering of incentives, or the exertion of undue pressures through mala fide acts such as intimidation, coercion, or abuse of power in removal of normal subsidies or use rights, obstruction of access to fisheries, arbitrary demotion or disqualification of any nelayan, undermining the right to freedom of association, or deplatforming the Persatuan Nelayan in any manner should be forewarned and investigated. We appeal to Suhakam to ensure that local fishing communities are not disenfranchised of their rights to the fisheries commons, which has been their source of livelihood for generations. To protect the human rights of the nelayan, we call upon Suhakam to conduct a full investigation of the plight of the Penang and Perak nelayan threatened by the proposed Penang South Reclamation Project. We also call upon political representatives, government, civil society, and the public at large to recognize coastal reclamation as an environmental justice issue affecting tens of thousands of nelayan and their fishing communities, and to support the nelayan's rights by calling for the national proscription or ban on coastal reclamation proposals for urban development as advised in the National Physical Plan 2020.
Penang is so sensitive to heritage, preserving of heritage, etc. And my wish is that they would be as sensitive to issues relating to the environment. I think there must be absolute and utter transparency, because this is about the lives of the people living now and for future generations. It is not something you can tear down or remove if it doesn't work out, you know. So the steps taken to get there must be absolutely transparent. So that would be I would like to appeal to the Penang State Government to please deal with this issue extremely responsibly.